Are you an esthetician, a waxer, and you've blamed either slow season or your pricing for the reason why you have low retention? Today, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 most common reasons why clients don't come back or ghost you and teach you exactly what to do about each. Welcome to The Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Brie Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and first-to-market wax pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. First of all, we have a huge milestone today, you guys. This is episode 100, and that was just mind-blowing to me. I forget the statistic. I said it in one of our really early episodes. I believe like 10% of podcasts make it to episode 21. I just know that was our first goal, and if we made it there, that we got over like that big hump. So thank you guys for riding with us. This is a huge milestone, and I'm very excited. I'm excited for the next 100 episodes to come. But today, we're talking about something super important, retention. So just as important as the ability to bring in new clients is the ability to retain them. If you have new people coming in the front but leaving out the back, you're not going to have a sustainable, successful business. So we need to focus on retention. I'm going to give you the 5 common reasons why people ghost you, clients ghost you, or they don't come back, and then exactly what to do about it. So let's get into it. Reason number 1 is that it hurt more than they expected it to. Oftentimes though, especially if you're using Rebel Wax, shameless plug, oftentimes we hear our clients say, oh my gosh, that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But the whole point here is we want to set realistic expectations. One of my favorite talking points for new clients is letting them know the first one just kind of sucks. Now, I do not put this out there necessarily on social media for them to see before booking that appointment because we don't want to create any additional anxiety and nervousness. But when they come in the treatment room and we get started, after that first strip pull, I always tell them, okay, I didn't want to tell you this before we got started, but the first one just kind of sucks. So we're going to get through it together. I'm going to be super quick. I'm going to distract you. We're going to be fine. You're going to love the results, but I need you to pretend like this one never happened. Exit out of your memory. I'm going to go ahead and book you for 4 weeks out, and I need you to commit to coming back in 4 weeks and then base your decision if you are going to continue with waxing or not on that second appointment. That helps me to set up the next booking right then and there in the treatment room. You do not want to be focusing on rebooking them at the counter. Like at that point, you have to have already made them make their decision that they're going to be rebooking with you. If the first time you're talking about this is at checkout, you've already lost them, okay? So, but acknowledging the discomfort that is associated with waxing, but letting them know, hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The first one just sucks. You need to be really good at reading people too. Some people need more information and want all the details, and some people just want you to shut up and help them get through it real quick, and they don't want to be educated on all the things. So being able to read your client and read the room is really important. But some clients, I go into more detail of letting them know the reason why the first wax is more painful. They usually have a lot of sheathing. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. When you look at the bulbs of the hairs, it's the white bulb. That is sheathing, that is dead skin, it is oil, product buildup. It's really anchoring that hair in the follicle. So when you remove and you detach that, they're feeling the inflammation and the pain associated with that detachment. So some clients, I will show them the strip and say, see all this? This won't be there the next time you come in. So you're not going to feel that detachment anymore. It's night and day difference. I'm also really big on touching on client objections before they ever say it. I've been doing this long enough that I know what's coming next. So usually I like to then go into, and I know you think I'm a filthy liar right now, and there's no way that this could get better. I promise you, just come back in 4 weeks and I will show you how easy this truly can be. And I just know you're going to love the results. So setting up realistic expectations, but then also acknowledging and giving them hope for the future, okay? This is going to help so much with retention. I promise you, this one thing right here with new clients always I would say, okay, to be realistic, like 75% to 80% of the time helps me to get that new client to book that second appointment. Also using humor in this too, like saying, okay, I'm gonna book you out for 4 weeks. Don't ghost me and no show me. Like call it out that what you don't want them to do. They'll kind of laugh about it or whatever, but it does like get in their head. They're like, oh, okay, I committed to this. I told her I'm gonna show up. So this helps so much with new client retention. If you can get them to come in that second time and then that third time, your retention rate for that client and longevity with them skyrockets. So your goal really is to get them in like 3 to 4 times is ideal, but this is a great way to get that new client to commit to that second appointment. Quick interruption to the show for my waxers who are getting busier every month, but inventory has you stressed out, feels unpredictable. This is going to make your life a whole lot easier. With a Rebel Wax subscription, you can save 10 to 15% plus unlock free shipping on select tiers, and you never have to worry about running out again. We've all been there. You have a full day of clients, look in your pot, realize you're almost out, you're forced to pay rush shipping, do an emergency supply run, buying wax that you're unfamiliar with and oftentimes is overpriced, or even worse, you have to cancel your clients. It's stressful, it's inconvenient, and it disrupts your entire day, sometimes even your entire week. With subscriptions, you can customize everything: your formula, your bag size, your quantity, your frequency of delivery, 30, 60, 90, 120 days, and your wax will ship to you automatically. And you can pause, skip, or cancel at any time. This was made for solo waxers who want consistency and savings as they grow. To get started, visit lashandwaxoc.com, choose your bag size, your formula, the quantity that you would like, and then make sure to click subscribe and save. Then you will see 30, 60, 90, and 120 day delivery options. Choose which one is best for you, then click add to cart. Once you do this, your discount applies immediately and your wax will ship right on time. Again, visit lashandwaxoc.com, set up your subscription, and make stocking wax the easiest part of your month. Now back to the show. Reason number 2 is maybe their skin freaked out after the wax. It is not uncommon for people to have histamine reactions. So this is something that you normally can see if it's going to be happening during the appointment. But other things too of ingrowns, maybe they get bumpy, super itchy. These are things that can make people not want to come back. For prime example, if you guys are watching this on YouTube and you've seen my cousin Jake, he came in and did quite a few videos for us. We did his chest, his stomach, his back, even did face. Well, during that video, if you guys go check out that demo, I told him, I'm like, you're one who I just really feel like could have a potential histamine reaction. And we started to see it as we continued on with the service. But I knew he wasn't going to do the right aftercare, even though I gave him all the things, I told him what to do, and he ended up with folliculitis. And I knew that was happening. So then he goes and he's at work telling all his buddies, I'm never going to wax again. That broke me out. It's like, well, no, you didn't follow my instructions. So I told you this could happen. But this happens with our clients all the time too. So we need to educate our clients on what they can expect and also potentially expect, and then also how to combat that. And instead of trying to backtrack and treat it later, like to be proactive and teach them about the proper aftercare and what they can and can't do within 24, 48 hours. Do everything you can to, again, set realistic expectations and to help them avoid any of those things that can happen. Also, following up. You guys, the fortune is in the follow-up. It's so incredibly important. This is something I have my waxer Adwin do, is every new client within 24, 48 hours, she is texting them saying, hey, thanks so much for coming in. It's Adwin. I just want to check in and see how's your skin feeling. Then if they're having any issues, they're not just sitting in that alone and feeling like, okay, this isn't normal. Waxing isn't for me. I'm never doing that again. You're following up. And then if they do have any issues, hopefully they'll bring it to your attention. And then you can walk them through exactly what they can do to treat that, go through potential reasons why it happened and how to avoid it in the future. So this is really important. Do not skip this step. Reason number 3, and I know if you're here listening, this isn't you. It could never be you. You would never do this. They felt judged or maybe super awkward. The vibes were off. I'll tell you a little story. Okay, so I was a trainer at European Wax Center, right? And we had this new hire come in, and her bedside manner was terrible. I think she was very nervous, which is understandable, right? And I think she overcompensated with like trying to be funny, but like in very inappropriate ways. And the final straw was when she told, I don't even know if I should say it. It's kind of raunchy. But she told the client, she's like, I feel like I just lost my virginity to you. Yes. She told a Brazilian client that, and I like turned like white, red. I don't know. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I asked her to leave the room. I apologized to the client. Thank God it was during training week. So I think it was one of the call center girls that were in. So they're used to going through trainings. But I just couldn't believe what she said. Not appropriate. So I know that's a very extreme example, but you want to be really, really careful that if you're having an off day, a bad day, we still need to be really careful about how it is that we are projecting onto and making our clients feel, especially if they're new. And if they're new and you can sense that, just assume that they're nervous, just assume that they feel awkward. Providing Brazilian waxing services is a very intimate service, right? People are really having trust into you to come in, be vulnerable, take their pants off and spread eagle for 15, 20, 30 minutes. It's an uncomfortable experience, and it won't be for long because you guys are going to provide excellent experiences for all your clients. So they're going to gain comfort and trust with you. But the first experience for them can be tough. So walking them through that and being really just conscientious about how it is that you're making them feel, the environment, walking them through everything, and just really reassuring them, okay? Reason number 4, and this is me talking from a client's perspective. So they may think the results were just whatever. And oftentimes this is because if they are a first-time waxer, their hair cycles are not synced up yet. So we know that, but if we don't talk to our clients about this, and again, the overarching theme here is setting up realistic expectations for them, they may think, oh, she didn't do a good job. Look I had growth come back within a few days. Well, no, that's totally normal. That's your 3rd cycle. We have to take 3 to 4 services, right, to sync up your hair growth cycles. I explain that here on my channel. I have tons of episodes all about this and how to explain it to your clients. But really, really important that you're explaining that to your client. You're letting them know, this first 3, 4 services, you're going to have random sporadic growth, totally normal. And here's the plan that we're going to set up to get you really excellent, long-lasting results. Okay. But if you don't explain this and they go home 3 to 5 days in, they have hair growing back to themselves, they're going to be like, this results isn't what I was looking for, or isn't worth it based on how much I paid for the service. I don't think I'm going to keep up with this. So really important that you have that conversation. I'm a speed waxer, right? I've always been a fan booking 15-minute appointments. Your business is your business. You can do whatever it is that you want. I'm not going to sit here and say that you need to do 15-minute appointments. You could do 15, 20, 30. Really don't recommend going beyond 30 just because you guys need to be making a living and your revenue drastically decreases past that. But you may want to consider a new client giving yourself a little bit more time. So if you're a 15, 20-minute regular Brazilian, maybe your new clients, you do a 30-minute so that you can make sure that you're touching on all these points with your clients at their first appointment. It's really going to help you to increase your retention. And if you have a hard time remembering at first, it's all about the reps, right? Just like it took reps and practicing and actually doing these things, laying wax strips in order to get good at waxing. You can't just study about it. You actually have to do it. Same thing with this. At first, it's going to feel awkward. You may forget some of these points to hit. So bullet point this. Write these out, what you need to be covering with a new client. Have it on a little 3x5 card in one of your top drawers, and make sure that you're checking off all those points with your clients every single new client, okay? And then eventually it becomes second nature, and that's just going to be the process that you follow with a new client. And then number 5 is not giving them their plan. So I mentioned this in reason number 4 as well, but you need to set up a plan. So one of my favorite ways to do this is to ask them, what brought you in today? And then I do not leave it at that. I give them a couple options, because sometimes people are like, to get waxed? Like, duh, what do you mean? I always say, are you just trying this out for like a special occasion? Do you have a trip coming up? Or are you looking to thin and soften your hair? I love throwing that out there, because then people are like, oh, you waxing thin and softens your hair? And I'm like, yes, these are the results that you can get with waxing, and then hopefully they say, yeah, I would love to achieve that. Then we say, okay, perfect. So our first goal is going to be to sync up your hair growth cycles. It's going to take about 3 to 4 services spaced out 4 to 6 weeks in between each service. So before you leave, I'll go ahead and get your second appointment on the books, and we'll get started there. After your 4th service, we'll reevaluate and come up with a good plan going forward from there. Boom, done. Like, so easy. It makes it so easy, you guys. If you go to the gym and you hire a personal trainer, they're going to have a plan for you, right? Based on your goals. So this is really, really important, and a step that is so often missed. And it's such a huge part of getting them to pre-book that appointment and to build that retention rate and to get them committed to 4 services, because now you set up the realistic expectation, set the plan for them that your first goal together, you're working together as a team to sync up their hair growth cycles so that they have longer lasting results and ultimately achieve the goal that they're looking for, to thin and soften their hair. Now, if they say, I'm just trying this out for a trip, then I like to I say, awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you came in. Forewarning, welcome to your new addiction. You're going to love the results. If you do decide to continue with waxing, then we'll want to do a 4 to 6 week schedule, but just try this one out. Get ready for your trip. But I have a sneaking suspicion you'll be back and you'll really enjoy it. Totally beat shaving on a daily or every other day basis. I kind of throw that out, leave it at that, plant the seed, and then ask them about their trip and go on with some small talk. But those are the 5 things, you guys. You focus on that, and you focus on that with every single new client, you will drastically increase your retention. Now, what should your retention rate goal be? First of all, you need to be tracking your retention rate. So if you don't know what your retention rate is, that's a big problem to start. We need to know what our retention rate is. I use Gloss Genius for our booking site. I absolutely love it for tons of different reasons, but it does give great analytics, so I'm easily able to pull our retention rate. There are quite a few different platforms and booking sites that you can use that you're going to be able to see this number as well. So what should your goal be? As a solo esthetician working for yourself, taking clients yourself, your goal needs to be higher than the standard. Like 60 to 70% is really where you should be. So if you are below that, give yourself a goal to increase by maybe 5% every week. And if you can compound that over week, you're going to see a drastic increase in your business, in your profits, and it's going to be such a game changer for you. So really important, first of all, you know your numbers, you're tracking them, you have a goal in mind, and you're paying attention to this. What you focus on expands. You got to focus on retention just as much, if not even more so, than bringing in the new clients. All right, guys. Now, if you would like to learn exactly how I have utilized Instagram to bring in new clients, if you're needing those new clients to practice these new retention tips on, then check out the link below in the description, my Booked Out with Instagram course. It's $97, 2 Brazilians, you guys, and you'll make your investment back. If you take the advice and implement what I teach within that course, I promise you, you will be booking many more than just 2 to 3 clients to make your investment back. So you can check that out. And if you now have mastered retention and you don't know what to do because you're fully booked with waitlist, go ahead and check out this episode. If you're watching on Spotify, it will be episode 99.